through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am.
Good day. Welcome to African Youth Invention, the AYI Training Center. I'm Emery Lukombo. I will be discussing about Microsoft Office Access 2019. All the basic skills I will be discussing on this version of 2019 can also be applied in the old Microsoft Access 2010, 2013, and 2016. A Microsoft Office Access is a database or information management software that used to store information for reference, reporting, and analysis. What a database? A database is a program that allows the user to store, organize, and manipulate a large amount of information. Now, in order for you to open an Access, you need to look for a symbol of Access desktop. If you don't find it on your desktop, most of the system used in computer have a search system. So go to your search and tap Access, and then the program will appear and then open. Once you open Access, what you find first, it's a home. Now on the home you got the recent document open and some template, and also you got a sign in. You can sign in online on your OneDrive. You can send a smile to the Microsoft Corporation. You can send a complaint to the Microsoft Corporation. You can ask for help. You can minimize, restore, maximize, and close. And then the second group, it's a new. Once you press a new, so where you can choose different type of template. I'm gonna first go here, open. Now on the open, you can open a recent document that open. You can open a database on your OneDrive. Open from this PC. You can open for different places, like for OneDrive for business or OneDrive. You can also browse any database document on your computer. I'll go back to new. Now on the new, you can open a blank database or a template. Now what is a template? A template is a pre-designed database document that's already done for you. All you need to do is to go inside and replace the word on your own word by using all the things designed already. And then you got different suggest here for search. Let's say you want to design a database for a business. So I can go tap here, business, and then it's gonna search different database online, but you need to make sure you got internet connections. Now you get more business. Sometimes you can also tap your own word. Let's say you're looking at a specific database, maybe for customer service. You can also tap your own customer service, and then you get more database. Once you find them, like I already have a customer service here, so I will select this, and after select and press create. Now once you open any database that already exists already, any template, you see if you press, this is called a navigation pane. You press a navigation pane, it have everything that you need to work. Everything here, it's already designed already. All you need to do is to replace everything here. By pressing this, it's called a tab, a file tab. A file tab is going to take me to what we call a backstage. If I press the backstage, it's taking me on a designing page. And if I press the file and I go back on the first menu, the new and the open that appear in the beginning. And these are the extra. This extra appear only after you open the document and then you press a file and then you can see them. Now before I explain this, I'm gonna go first back on my PowerPoint. Now as I discussed, a database is a program that allows the user to store, organize, and manipulate a large amount of information. You also find different type of program for database, like you can find database, IBM GB2, Microsoft Office Excel, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, or RDBS, QuickBase, and more other database programs. I know most of people are more familiar with Microsoft Office Excel. The difference between Excel and Access, and you find that Access is more advanced when it comes to store information compared to Excel. Now the difference between Access and then Excel, both they can compose with a large amount of tabular data. They can use exciting data to make calculation. In Access, data are stored in a record of table, and in Excel, the data are stored in a cell. This gives Access the advantage to store more data compared to Excel. Mostly when to create a database from scratch, you're gonna go to New, and then you choose a blank database, and then create. You found the database are mostly empty. Now what you found first here, it's what you call a table. I minimize like this one and open Excel. As I say now here, in Access, data are stored in a record of table, and in Excel, data are stored in a cell. In Excel, we can store a data any place, any this is called a cell. The same thing with Access, we also got a cell. So if I select here, these are cells. But this cell does not work the same way with Excel. In Excel, I can store anything. I can tap data here, and then I can go like here. I can tap even the same column. I can tap a number like this. But in Excel, I cannot do that. Before I tap anything in Access, I must first assign this line. It's like I must programming to say on this column, you must store or you must record a specific data, like record only number on this. That's the first difference between Access and Excel. This is called a row and it's a column. The same thing, this is called a column and this is a row. But I will not gonna be able to store something on this column if I don't specify what going to be stored, record on these particular columns. If I go back on my PowerPoint, the second difference between Access and Excel is that in Access, each cell depends on the column data and contains single type of data. You need to set a specific data on the column, data value, or a string name. For example, if the column cell is set for data value and the user can enter the string name, the software will show an error. But in Excel, the cell can be set with a number and the user can still enter different type of information. Now, if I go back here, like I explained before here, I can come this one, I can select this one here, then I choose a specific column. I can say on this column, I want to use a currency. Now, whenever I tap any number here, it's gonna show a currency. That's Excel. But I can also tap a name like Bob, and then it's not showing me error. But in Access, if I come here, I cannot enter anything here. And then I can come on this second one here, and then choose a number. I will select here and tap cell number, enter. If I come here and I tap maybe Bob, it's gonna show me error. Because why? This column is set only with a numbers. Whereby in Excel, we choose a currency, we can still change this to number, but you can still write anything in the same columns. The same way in the row, I can choose this row and then assign it to a number. But if I come on this row, I can tap anything, which is on Access, we can't. If you assign this column with a number, I cannot put another letter. I cannot put a text here. I can only put a number and then it's gonna recognize accept. Now that's the second benefit of Access. So now that's another the benefit for Access over Excel, because you are more accurate on Access compared on Excel. The other difference between them is that in Excel, each cell it use of the unique entry can store different type of information, date, value, string, name. You can also apply specific format into each cell. Excel, it can be only used to formatting data, and when you store over 1 million data in a row, it's become difficult to control data. Every person must update their spreadsheet with a new data, whereby Access is used only to store data, no formatting, and you can store over 1 million data in the column multiple people can work with the same database easily. The other benefit for access to Excel, access it's a base when it comes to storing data like information for the company, names, numbers, and it's difficult to make a mistake because most people can use the same document easily. But in Excel, it's not good for database like storing name information because it's easy to make a mistake by using the wrong number at the wrong place or the wrong name at the wrong place because of it's not 100% accurate. The benefit for Excel is when you're coming to formatting. Now, when it comes to formatting, Excel it's more benefitable compared to Access because they have a lot of tools like creating a nice designing, like if you want to create a nice show, everything, you want to create something nice, Excel is the best tool. And then the other benefit for Excel is a chart. Like if you watch AYI video of Excel, you will understand that Excel, it's come to chart, it's good. Excel is the best database program that you can use when it comes to financially wise and then charting, printing, and also formatting database. Excel is the best. But when you come to accuracy, like if you want to store information for the company, Excel is not good. Excel it's good on calculation, but not good on storing information because you can make a lot of mistakes. But Access it's a base when it comes to store information. I'm gonna go back to my PowerPoint. The other point, where do you need a skill of this type of database? Mostly you will need this. You want to work or you're working already with this specific job like quantitative analysis, IT assistant, IT solution developer, employer, team leader or supervisor, analyst, student worker, vice president, student director, CIE, setup position. Any soft database will be benefitable with you with this position or learn as you're watching Access. And if you this Access program training courses will be benefitable for you if you work on this particular job position or any other jobs. Access will be good for you. Even a manager, Access also will be helpful to store more information safely. And then the other thing you need to learn before I go back in the software is to understand the philosophy of Access. Now in Access we will do discussing about 6 tools. If you don't know these 6 tools, you don't understand these six tools, you cannot work with Access. Now the first one is a table. Now first thing you do whenever you want to create any Access document, it's a table. Now the table is used to store your data. And secondly, you will create queries. Now queries will allow you to organize data like pull some part in the table and then print them or whatever. And then form to organize the data because you got a full table that used to store data. And then the second, it's a query that used to organize the data. And thirdly, it's a form that used to display the data. And fourthly, it's a report that used to print the data. And then fourthly, it's a macro that used to animate the data. And then lastly is a module that most used to programming your software. That mostly on this video we're not going to discuss much about this because this is another courses, but we will discuss all of this. On this video, I'm going to discuss about a tab design. Now on this video, as I discuss, I will start for file. I will go discuss about the and create tab so that you can understand the purpose of table, query, form, and report. As I discussed in the back, this is I call tabs. Now the first one is a file tab. Take your backstage, create tab, and the other one external database tabs. Now a tab composed of a group of commands that you need in order for you to design a database document. Now if you come here, you will see there's a symbol. If you press here, you can hide these ribbons. And when you open any tab, and then you can hold this. And the same thing on top here, you can send one driver, you can minimize, you can maximize. But if I select here, Now, if you come here, you see here what I have here is a symbol. If I press here, it's now hide this, and this is called a navigation pan. So if you press here, it's gonna appear. So whatever is appear here, you see here, it's gonna be here on this side. This is called a customer ribbon. Now the customer ribbon composed of the command that you mostly use every time, like the saving and undo. So if I select here, you can go to more command and add more command that you need to use, like copy command. I can edit and say okay, then I have a copy command that's where. So anything I select here, I can copy it. That's a benefit of quick access. Sometimes you can show below the ribbon. So now it's below the ribbon, but if I press here, I'm gonna bring it to you or show above the ribbon. Now what you view here, it's called a navigation pan. You can come with bring your mouse here, hide it, and then open it. From here, it's gonna show you the record. How many record you have? Like currently, if you only one record. Open a blank document, it will create a table. Before you do anything, first thing it will create a tables. Now what I have here, it's a table. If I close it, nothing will happen. So I need to come here, select this, create a right click, and then say save, and then give it a name. I can give it here customer. Then you can see here now it's got a name. Now this table now it's activate now. Now from here I can come here, like before I did choose here, I did choose this to be a name, and then this is called a field. Now on the field you choose what you want to store on this. Now on this one here, that's where you record your information, and this is where you choose the type of field you want to record, and then which is the columns. On the row, it's when you record what you choose as a field. Now as on the beginning here, I did choose this as a text. So I will record a name on this column. I can come here, tap here, Emery, and then I got Emery, and then I got the second row, and I can tap Bob, and then carry on. But if I record something out of my pen, like if I put an image, it's not work. And that's the record. And then each thing I'm recording is called a cell. If you bring your mouse here, between the two cells, another cell and another cell, bring your mouse on top of your field names. Right here, you see the cost, and then drag the same thing like Excel. You can increase the size of your, or you can minimize the size. Then what you view on top here, it shows you how many rows is a record. I only have to record 2 rows, 1 to 2, and this is the ID. We can change this. The customer recording ID, we can change this, which we'll do on the next video. We'll manipulate this, how to change this to your own name. But on this video, just to introduce you what you can do with what is a record. Now on the second line, I have here it shows me I got only 2 records. I got the record 1 to 2, and 1 to 2. If I select it, so 1 of 2. If I select here, I'm in 2 of the 2. So I only have 2 records. If I select here, and I tap my name, maybe like Crystal, you will see I got the 3 record now here. I'm gonna go to home, and I can select this and put in the center. On this video, I'll focus only on formatting, and then on the next video, I will discuss this part here. Now from here, I can put my names in the center like this, or I can put them on left. And then I'll go to the second one here. I can create what we call a field. Now here I already choose a real number. I get a cell number, so we can put a cell number here like 7, 8, 9, 10, what like this. I put like this. Now you will see here, whenever I tap, it's not recognizing a 0. In order for you to have a 0 in front, we need to go set on the design view, which we'll discuss in the next video. You can only store numbers on this field. So you don't need to worry about this 0 to explain that why is the 0 not appearing on the next video. Third column here, I can come here on the field, and we will choose the field like a currency, and then we call it payment. Now once I say payment, I can come here, and then I can tap maybe 20 rand, maybe 50 rand, maybe 70 rand. Now that's a currency. But if I tap a name here, but it's gonna show me a mistake, not gonna recognize. You say no, you can't tap name because it's not for name. And if I tap the number, it's gonna force it automatically to rent. Now that's a benefit. You can also come here and then choose. Now these are different fields. You can choose any field, a link or image. Like if I can say attachment, and then attachment, and then I go touch something from my computer. I'll select here. Then you see, you can select here and then go to add, and then choose any document in your computer. Like I'm gonna go to my download. Now I can come here and then choose the image here and attach it. Okay. Now you see I got one image here, but there's nothing else attachment. Now this is, like I said, this is where you choose your field. So you can still come here and then choose also any type of field you want to put here, and then make sure select, like if I say date here, and then you come here, select on top inside here, click twice, and then name it maybe date. And then I'll go to my field to record, and if I tap like this, it's not going to say error because why? It's a date. So I need to record. I can only record date on this column. So I need to choose maybe a date, like, and then say today. This is today, and I choose a date there. You can go select more date, backward on the other years, backward or frontward, depending on what it. I can go to other place, select twice, click, and then it's gonna give you a date. Select the date. I'm gonna go another one, select the date, and I can go another place, select the date, and that's a benefit. So whatever field you choose, it's what you're gonna record on each columns. Now you cannot add something else except it must be this one here. And then you can change the font. I can select all this, like in Microsoft Word. I can set Control A. I can highlight everything. But to hide everything, you must say Control A, and then come here and then change the color of your text. But whenever you choose any place, it can apply to all the document. You can make them bold. You can make them italic. You can put underline, and then you can also change the font. Like I can put Time Roman. That's my preferred one. Everything change. As well, you can position the word. If I select this word, put them in the center, right, left. Now, if I want to put the word now here, if I select each columns, I can say this column must be on left, on the center, on the right, left. That's up to me. I can go to payment. I can go to this. You can highlight and then change the size of that you want. And like here, I must make a space because they're too long now to fit. Use for text formatting. So you can formatting this to your way. Now, if I finish, I can even come here. Let's say I record here. I can put a name here, maybe, and then I finish, and I put the cell number, enter, and I put how much, maybe the money payment, it pay 10 rand, enter, and I can add a proof what he give me, like I scan it, and then add a proof of skin, maybe give me this, maybe as a, and I scan it, and then I say, okay. Now that's a benefit. So you can continue to add more field, more on the columns, even the row. I can keep on recording. I can, if I record maybe John, maybe here, I can go to over 1 million. Nothing will affect because everything accurate, because these are all names, these are all numbers, these are all currency, these are all items that I need to attach, and these are all date. So the only thing you need to do is to go select what you want to change and go add what you want in the record. Of access, everything accurate. Now if I done here, I can select here, right click, and then say close. Now once you close, I've got nothing on my panel, but my table store here, I can set it again and it appear. So I can come here, right click, close. Secondly is the query. Query actually allowed you to summarize information to a specific, like if I just want to have a specific area, another table with not, like this the table can have composed of a mine database, and the query can summarize some data to make it smaller. So you do select what you want to summarize. I want to summarize maybe a different table or same table. So I select this and I'm going to go to create, and then I will choose a query wizard. So I say query wizard, and then when I say query, say okay. I can choose what I want on my table. Like I don't want everything. I just want a name, and then I'll add it, and I also want date. Then say, oh, bring it to another side, and say next, and finish. Now look here. What I did now here, I'm organized. Like my manager asked me, can you print for me the name of the customer that we store in our database? So we store these five workers. These are their number phone, and this is the month that they owe. But and this is the date that they came. Now the boss, he only want us to give him a form that have a name and the cell number. Now I'm gonna go. We went to the form and then just pull that field. Now that's the benefit for form, and then other things. And then thirdly, it's form. What the benefit for form, for organizing forms? Now the first thing we'll do is to go to create, and after create, you go say form wizard. So select your table and say form wizard. And then the first thing, if I press this, now take all of this, bring it here. But if I use this, I'll choose a specific what I want. Now let's first do the entire thing. So I'll put this, everything is in, and I say next, next, and finish. Now what I have here, I have created a form. What the benefit for form, for organizing forms? Now if I got a customer coming, and then this is my database, as a boss or as a manager, what I'm viewing here, this is the one I can see how many people that came in the business, and their number phone, the payment, and then the attachment of a document they give, and then the date. Most customers are not familiar with this like this, because it become confusing because too much things, especially when it comes to a company. I can have maybe payment, debt here, a lot of field. I can continue add more field, more columns, and then it's confusing a table. But once you just display them in the forms, it's become easier, because from here I can see easily. I just see the ID number of the or the customer name. We can change this to customer number, and then the name, the cell number. So this is the form make easy to other people, like a reception. So I can jump to see the name of different others now here. Now if you go to the last, I can say this is ID number 7. So I'll say number 7 will be maybe 3CD. And then on the cell number, maybe it's 7712. That's a cell number. Now the form also will make a mistake. I say a number is too long, so I can make like this. Okay. And then the payment, maybe you pay 20 rand. And then the attachment, press here. Now take it online, take on a computer, attach any image or any document to scan, or a paper or a CV, whatever. Maybe it's a job application. Open it, then edit. Say okay. Now that's attachment, and the date maybe is 7, and then apply. And then after that, you finish. That's a benefit. This is a benefit for form, because on the other side we need to fill here. Now if I go like this one here, and then I go to file, I need to save this. I'm gonna go to right, save. So I can call this, after save, I can close this. Once you come here, you can rename it, select here, and then rename it, call it customer record form. And then when I go like this, we did add number 7. So if you go on the table and then we close this table, customers enter the table, because why? The name was filled on the form. So I can go back to the form again, fill the name. I will come here and I will say, make sure I go to the number. I go to number 8. Then the number 8, I will call the number. I will call maybe Frank. And then the cell number, I'll put like this, that's maybe small. And the money, I'll put 15 rand. And then I'll touch a document. And they say okay. And I'll come here by date and apply. And then I finish. That's all. But when you do to macro, we can put the symbol say save. And automatically the system knows. So once I come here, I say save. But when you come to that way, we need now. If you go back here, this is where macro play a role, because we're going to create a button here, which is with macro. Press it, save. That's a macro. If we add a macro here, if we have a button here, we press a save button. But if we just come here, we say save, automatically it's going to save in our table. Now if I go open our table, you will see number 8 is Frank. So which means I can also fill a name from this side, but people are more familiar with form. So you cannot give people a table. A table can be on your system as a manager, but most people will be familiar with form. That's a benefit for form. You can select a table, the man table, select it, and go to create, and you say query WhatsApp, and then the query WhatsApp, you say okay, the boss asked me, so you say give me the name, I'll add the name, the cell number, I'll add the cell number, what else, and the payment, or maybe the date, no payment, just the date, I will look for the date, add the date, and they say next, and say finish. Now I got a name, there's no ID, so this is our man table. If I open a man table here, we go to ID first, but the last query, the second query only have a name, and then we go to date and cell number. So what I do, I'm gonna come here and save it, or I'll come here and then save it, and then save it, close it, and then go to your query area, and then this is the second one, right click and then rename it, say date, it's got the ID numbers, you got the name, number of the customer, name, and then the payment. But the second query, it's only have a name, and a name, date, and then cell number. Now that's a benefit of a query. It's just to organize, to pull what you want. I can pull even one line like this and print them in the table. I can pull like if your boss say, hey, please can send me, email me the name of all the customer. So you can use a query. You go to query, WhatsApp, and say okay, and then just say name, add the name, and that's all. Finish. And then you just come here, and then you come here and you save it, and then you know your last one is this one here. No, it's this one. That's your name. Get and sell query. Now that's your name. Now that's what. So you can pull your query from the table, from the forms. I can even pull the query from the form. I can select the form here, and then go and they say what's the query. They say okay, and then just choose payment, next, sorry, next, finish, and that's a payment. Now that's a better query. You're just pulling area by area. Now the purpose for report is mostly for printing. If I want to print this stuff here, I will go set anything I want. I just want to print this query because it's have already the names, date, and cell number. Or I just want to print names. I know I did create a query that have only name, so I'm gonna go choose that name query, and I'll go to cancel to report to WhatsApp, and from report only one, I add it, next, and then finish, and then it's create a form, and from here I can go print it. Now that's a benefit to print it, to print everything. I can say, okay, boss asked me print me all the name of the customer, so I'll go create a report and print the names automatically, everything. Then the boss can say, okay, I want me to print the date, name, and then the money OE. So I can select the form, I can select the query, I can select the table. But because maybe I don't have a query that have that form, so I'm gonna go to the mine table. Yeah, that's the store table. I'll select my mine table, which is a customer record, and then I'm gonna go to create. I'll say report to WhatsApp. I'll make sure what my boss wants. My boss say he want a name, I'll add it, and also want the payment, I'll add it, and also you want the date, select the date, I'll add it, and then I'll say next, 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 and finish. Now that's everything. So I go to the names, I go to the payment, I go to the date, and I print this. I go to file, print, I go to file, and then print. I go to print, preview, and I'll choose how many page from one. It's on one page or all the page, everything here. And that's a benefit for reporting. And then the last part, tools that you mostly need, it's a macro. The macro, it's mostly work to animate it, like in the case when we did create it, when we did create the last two parts, when we did creating the forms, like when you open any form here, I can create a form here. So we can create a button here, animate, which we'll discuss much on the video 3. So if I put a button here, and then once you finish, like if I want to fill the name, I go, and then once I finish, then then if I go to macro button, I press it, it's saved. But on this case, I need to go to my form, which is a commanded form. I will come here, say save. Then it's in the table. Now, if you go open the table, let me close this. Sometimes you will have a lot of this. So always close them. Right click, close, select, right click, close, select, right click, close, select, right click, close. I'm gonna go to my customer. For my customer, you will see log is in, and then I can set the cell number and the payment, and then the attachment for the CV and the date. Now, this is the way I'm gonna give example. I can come here, add another cell here, call them one cell between here, send name. So I put name, send name, ID number. Everything. Now that's the benefit for that. And then last part, also I'm not going to discuss about, like I said in the beginning, the modular tools, mostly programming. So this is another course. But the last video on this one here, there's a 4 video coming for the entire courses. The video 6 we will do a final project design by using a modular formatting design. So we'll try to create a short design to understand modular. And before that, we're going to do first on video 5, we will discuss advanced design with macro on the video, the follow video. And please, you can watch the next video. And so we'll discuss much. If you press here the num lock here, the other part here, I didn't discuss in the beginning. On the bottom here, you see you go to num lock. If I press here, it can show me the property sheet where we can control this sheet, manipulate. But at the moment, it may confuse you, which you will do more when you from next video. We'll use this. If I press this, it's go back to normal. If I press change my num, and as well, you can go to file and then save your document, save as, and when you press save as, save object as, and then save as, you save it as a specific part. You can save it as a database or as a query or as a form. So I'm going to save it different. You're going to go to save as and save as different format. You come here, save it as different format. But mostly you can save on your database, on your computer database. And the other thing you have here, which is info, you can open your document, like there's a name of it, and then from here, and then you go to file, and then you go to info, and then compare and repair your database. Or you can encrypt with password. If you don't want people to open it, you come here. I can tap Bob, and then verify, and then tap Bob. And once I say OK, and then anytime when I open this document, you must put a password Bob. You need to open any document. For printing, you need to make sure anything when I print is open. And then you go to file, and go to print. Then you choose the print selection. And then if you want to print all the page, then say OK, and then you choose your printing. And the print is a PDF file or is it HP, they choose the printing name here, like here. And then you say page, how many pages from one side to one. If you got a page, you can print from one to, depending on any page, or you can print all, and then you can choose how many copy you want to print for each page that you got in your computer. Say OK, and then you say OK, then you can print it. Now there's no printing. Close, because I've got no printing flag there. That's a printing. And then you can close your document. And then here it's called account. Account, what account does, it allows you to upgrade your software, and then that will check if your software is updated. Like you can check the type of Microsoft Access. As I say in the beginning here, there will be some difference between Access 2019. I'm using Microsoft 2019. You can also use 2010. 2013, 2016. But there's some tools that you found on this one you don't find on the old one, so you can update here and you can double check if it's activated, or you go to Microsoft, which Microsoft Office you're using, 2019 or 2016 or 2013. And the other thing you can manage your setting from here, your data setting, and as well you can change the color of your background. I can say dark gray, and then the whole background change. File, account, and I can put it to cloud. I can put it to white, or I can put black, and that's the benefit of your account. So I can put to cloud. Cloud full is best, and you can send it in OneDrive from here. But you must make sure you internet. And this one you can send a smart, get a picture, select, and then include a screenshot, and then write a comment. What make you happy? What you say? No, I'm happy for what you did on this Microsoft Access. It's very benefitable in my life. So write your comment here and submit. It now go to Microsoft Corporation to encourage the designer. And then as well, if you go the same place in the feedback, you can also send a complaint, say no, there's something that I see is wrong, and include a screenshot and explain about the complaint, what you think they can improve it. The next video and submit is now go to them. Finally, here you can send a suggestion. You can send a suggestion if you think there's something you can add on this program. You can propose them ideas. And then lastly, the options. It's where you're going to control your entire programs. So this is we'll do mostly on the last video. Thanks so much for watching this video. I believe you understand the purpose of each of these tools on Microsoft Access. And please watch the next video. We will do a design from scratch as well, and then we will focus more on the face, how to make a nice a professional table, which is the next video. And query design, which we will discuss much about the table, and then how they design a nice beautiful table design, as well as one project that can use like IT assistance or IT solution developer position. We will go deeper to design a nice table with gonna be organized with a calculation, everything. How can you apply calculation, mathematics, everything on Access, as well fix this case of this number so that you can understand better. So we will focus much about design view. That's the next video. And thanks so much for watching this video.
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in.